I can make it the wide river actually take place in the river environment. And then I can make the Wolfpack event take place in the forest. And then I can make Dragonhall and the cliff possibly take place in the mountains. But that only works if we start in the river. So that's fine. There's no reason I couldn't just have can just change the order there. So like you get the map and the map takes you to the wide river. So you find the map in the river environment, not literally in the river itself, but in the river environment. Sure. I'm amusing myself with this. Oh. Yeah, that should be fine actually. It was just occurring to me like if if it takes 8 minutes to transition up to a total of 16 minutes, worst case scenario, in the case where you just miss the opportunity to transition. Um, oh, you know what else I could do is I could fudge that a little bit. Like in the case where you would miss the transition, I can just check that. I can basically just like pull it forwards a little bit. Like, oh, no, rah. Yeah, no, I could still do that. I could totally still do that. It'd be a little awkward, but I could still do that. Uh, um, right, yeah, no. It was occurring to me like, so if I go from the river to the mountains or from the river to the forest to the mountains, then I'll have to make sure that there's enough time for both of those transitions. So if the first one takes 16 minutes and there are 15 minutes between each of the events, then like then we're like a minute late, I guess. No, but I think that should work out okay because like yeah, because I was thinking like at first like wait, does that add an extra minute to the possible? So now is the maximum possible like 17 minutes? Like if 16 was the longest it could possibly take, but now there's the extra minute. I don't think it works that way. I think actually in the case that there's an extra minute, it would literally be 9 minutes because I think that extra minute represents the approach of one of these uh, transition points. So I think that would actually work fine. Um, so yeah, I'm excited about this, as you might be able to tell. Oh yeah, I was also going to change the order of these. So map takes place in the river, and then it leads to wide river. Uh, oh, you know what? I'm just going to open all of these in Notepad++. Okay, so map now leads to wide river. So wide river should not lead to Wolfpack anymore. Oh wait, no, yeah, no. Wide river does still lead to Wolfpack because Wolfpack takes place in the forest. So yeah, wide river takes place in. I mean, I guess I don't really have to specify that it takes place in the river, but it does. Uh, actually, huh? Yeah, I guess I should make a decision about whether I'm gonna have events that debatably that it doesn't matter where they take place. I mean, I incidentally here like it doesn't actually matter where the river takes place but it does matter where the map takes place because the river is the part that actually requires a specific background. Hey, congratulations, Marty. Um, but the map is the one that could possibly initiate it, and so this is the point where it matters, or this is the point where it's decided, even though this is the point where it matters. Um, so can I make a decision on that? Maybe I should put it off. All right. Well, it's not going to hurt to annotate this, even if I can. It'll be simple enough later. Uh, all right. So Wolfpack takes place in the forest, right? Yeah. Forest. Save that. Uh, and then Cliff takes place. It could take place in the the mountains or the forest, but I'm gonna say it takes place in the. Did I change Wolfpack to lead to the cliff? Oh no, yeah. So Wolfpack doesn't lead to Dragonhall anymore. Wolfpack leads to the cliff. Save that. And so cliff takes place in the mountains and leads to Dragon Hall. Cool. And Dragon Hall, I don't know, it might not matter that it takes place in the mountains, but it does. Actually, I guess I could, if I wanted to, I could have that take place in the cave. The cave could be the Hall of Dragons, I guess. I don't know. That amuses me, so why not? um, so, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, what about the other questions that we have here? Arson probably shouldn't take place in the snow. Yeah, before I start like, or actually, yeah, I should go through and do the ones that really matter. Like for example, Dragon Hall had a lot to do with the environment, and so that one very much mattered. Oh, I guess actually Bridge should probably take place in the river, right? Because it mentions river. It mentions like if you fail to cross, or like you can fall into water if you're in the river, if you are unsuccessful. No, it should probably take place in the forest. Because it has vines, and the river clearly does not have vines. Yeah, whatever. It should take place in the forest. Uh, Ogre Cave. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Broken Stair should probably take place in the mountains, and then Ogre Cave should probably take place in a cave, right? Uh, so mountains. Save that. And again, like this is not a system that actually works yet. It's just a system that I'm planning on implementing soon. So I'm just annotating the data at this point. Pirate ship. I mean, like the only thing that even vaguely makes sense at this point is to have this happen in the river. So, I mean, it actually just still doesn't make sense. I was trying to think, like, is it possible to make a pirate ship environment? Is it possible to make an environment where the players like board a pirate ship? And I think the answer is no. At least I cannot for the life of me figure out how that would work. I mean, I could have it. If I felt like it, I could do something different there. I could have it so that like the visuals actually completely change, and it's not like the little characters walking across the screen anymore. I could have it so that like it's just like a long view of like the ocean and their little pirate ships. Like maybe, like I don't want to do different character art for the ships, but um, yeah, the beach is one thing that I plan on adding at some point. And so like the outcome. Oh, did we get to the? Oh, it must have happened already. Uh, oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, that's weird. I must have failed to annotate it correctly because you repaired the pirate ship, but then the way that is actually supposed to play out. Sorry, one second. I must have just like typoed it or something when I was working on this yesterday. When you fix the pirate ship, it's supposed to you're actually supposed to board it. So uh, let's edit the. Whoops, nope, I didn't mean to do that. Edit with Notepad++. Yeah, broken ship. Huh. It does specify pirate ship as the next event. But why did pirate ship not come up as the next event? The next event is you reach an old stately manor. Huh. Curious. Did I just typo it? No, I didn't. What? 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 What the heck? What the heck happened there? I I don't even know how to go about fixing this because it's like it doesn't seem broken. And like the other quest chains work. Why does this quest chain arbitrarily just not work? Uh, Are there any hints in like the debug output or I don't know. What about in the chat log? Are there any hints there? Ahoy, you shove off on the maiden voyage. Oh. I wonder if this is related to the fact that it converted my asterisks to quotation marks. Or wait, are they just quotation marks? Oh no, they are just quotation marks. Yeah, no. They're just like scare quotes. That is spelled correctly, right? Pirateship. Pirateship. Seems legit. um. So, uh, hey, new follower. No, just 2050. Welcome. Thank you for following. Welcome to the channel. Um, huh. I'm just really confused by this. Like, I've never seen I've never seen a one of these events like fail to go. Uh, Broken ship, pirate ship, pirate's hip, pirate's hip. Huh. Stunning. Well, I guess for now, like, it's just broken, unfortunately. But what can I do? I can so I guess when the script starts, I'll put in like a some sort of check to see if the events are connected correctly, if the quest chains are actually working. So how would I go about doing that? If we go to the part where we load in the quest data, which is here, excuse me. Yeah. All right. So let's or no, not epilogue. Sorry. Excuse me. The chains data. Yeah. So when this happens, let's print. So if there is if this quest is part of a chain and there's a follow-up event to it, let's print out the name and so like I'll print out the word chain. I can spell chain, and then the name of the name of this event, and then or the name of this event would be name, and then the outcome, which is AI, and then I guess the last bit of data, which is event index name chains index AI. Just to make sure this is getting set correctly. Because if this is getting set correctly, then it's failing to process the connectedness of those events for some other reason. So at least this will give us a hint as to what might be going wrong. I'm not going to restart the script right now, but I'll have to look out for that the next time I restart the script. The next time I restart the script. Save that. And yeah, so apart from that, I guess I can continue on with the rest of the stuff. Yeah, the reason that like none of the environments are going to be right for the pirate ship is that for this for the event pirate ship, the event named pirate ship, you're literally on the pirate ship. And so like right now, you could be like in a snowy mountains or like a snowy forest and it says you're on a pirate ship, right? But once the events, I don't know, once they're a little connected, most of the events will then, once the events environments are a little connected, most of the events will make sense in their settings. And then this one still won't, I guess. So, I don't know. I'm maybe like down the line. Uh, Pirate ships. Maybe down the line, I might want to add in something like that. Uh, it'll be a long way away. I think. Basically, what I would do is I would just have like the visuals cut from the normal like adventurers walking across a scene or whatever, and it would just be like it would just be oh no, that wouldn't even work really. I was picturing like instead of like the forest that we're seeing here, it would just be like an ocean, and then instead of individual adventures, it would be individual pirate ships. But I mean, well, the alternative, I guess, would be to make an environment because I could make an environment of the players on a pirate ship. But the thing about that is that I couldn't get a good transition. Like it's easy enough to be on a pirate ship, but the way to get the adventurers onto the pirate ship and then have it look like the pirate ship is like actually like setting sail or anything like that, that would be basically impossible. I mean, it'd be kind of impossible. I mean, the tricky part is that like I can't change elevation. Like the players like never. They always stay like on a flat plane. They never like actually like sometimes they're in the mountains and sometimes they're underground, but they never actually like go upwards. So like in order to get into a boat, you have to like go up a ramp at least. The least the I don't know because boats I don't know maybe I don't know maybe I'll leave it in the backlog and maybe think about it again. Did I go independent because I couldn't hack it at the big studios, or because I can do better as an independent developer? I I'm working independently right now, and so I can make a game like SideQuest. Could you imagine trying to and if you've never worked in AAA, maybe you can't, trying to convince like a studio or like other people to like do something like this is going to be a huge hassle. Maybe you could do it. Maybe you could like convince people like this is a thing that we should be doing. Uh, I don't care. This is what I wanted to do, and I work independently, so this is what I wanted to do. I'm doing it. Yeah. Um. So yeah, no, I might work in AAA again someday. I'm not in any hurry to do so. Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. Uh, all right. So yeah, pirate ships. I mean, I might just hypothetically, I could just get rid of the pirate ship events because they don't like the amount of work that it would take in order to get them to make sense. Like, I'd either have to go like all out pirate themed and like, I mean, I guess I could like if I ever did come up with a uh, if I ever did put in the work to make the pirate ship, I guess I could then just have like a whole set of like pirate themed events to make it, a little more to make it pay off. I guess. Who knows? It's I actually yeah. Maybe I like that. So instead of pirate ships, I'm gonna call this event. I'm gonna say environments without oops environments without transitions. So like I could just have special environments, right? Like if there's an environment that doesn't transition cleanly into or out of another environment, I could just have it like. Sorry, I just unplugged my headphones by waving my hands around. Um, I could just have I could just have a like it just a star wipe or something. No, not literally, but like just have like the have like some visual effect, and then poof, we're in a different environment. I've been thinking about making something like that anyways because right now the GMs, like I have a command where I can like go I can say, oh wait, are we transitioning? Oh, we're in the middle of transitioning, so I won't do it right now. But like I have a command where I can just say like teleport mountains, and then it would just send us like instantaneously to the mountains. And so that is another situation where I would use like one of those like transitions, like sudden transitions, instead of using the because like this transition between the forest and the mountains that's happening right now is it takes a while. Like we'll be transitioning through we'll be exiting the forest for like some time now. So uh, sometimes you just need quicker transitions than that. And then in this case, like yeah. So where else would I use that? Um, I would use it for like a pirate ship, and at that point, it actually wouldn't be that hard to make the pirate ship. All I'd need to do is draw the deck of the pirate ship, and I guess it'd be a little bit funny because like people would just be pacing around the deck of the pirate ship. There'd just be like the adventurers would be like just like walking in circles around the pirate ship. Whatever, it'd work though. And then the background would just be like like some waves bobbing or like clouds or like seagulls or something. I don't know. That's entirely doable. Would I just use it for pirate ships though? I'm sure I would eventually come up with other stuff that I could do. Anything, yeah. I mean, it could be anything that for which there doesn't exist a sensible transition. I might have used it for the cave, or at least it would have saved me like a lot of headache if I'd used it for the cave a long time ago. But no, we were able to actually make a cave, which is even better in the long run. All right. So that's on the backlog, and maybe it'll happen at some point. Uh, Actually, yeah, I won't even call this environments without transitions. I'll just call it like fast transitions, or like jump cuts. Is that what they're called? Uh, what are jump cuts? Uh, oh, not really. Whatever, that's fine. I don't care. I'll know what that means. Okay. Oh, what was the? Oh, the only reason why you ask is that you've seen a few Twitch developers who worked in AAA, and your suspicion is that a lot of them were let go for being mediocre, not because they wanted to. Um, do you need me to read an excerpt from like my reviews at the company? Because I'm pretty sure I have some on hand. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, if I had one, where would it be? Oh wait, no. Okay, so sorry, I won't get too distracted by this, but whoops, click the wrong button. I'm just gonna indulge Rex Terra's scientific research that he's doing right now. So uh, it's super important, right? It's super important. Scientific. It's for science. So all right, wait. If I had this, where would I have kept it? It would be. I know it's on my computer somewhere. Or it might be on my other computer, but I can find this real quick. So uh, review, like employee review, or like sorry. this will, this really shouldn't take long. Oh wait, no, I know where it is. It's on my other computer. So wait, I didn't have to go into Facecam. I'll but all right, wait, hold on. Documents. Where was it? I know it's right. It's in here somewhere. Doop doop. Where was it? I had like a professional folder or something. Oh, sorry for putting my face so close to the camera. Um, man. what order is this? Oh, it was right. It was the first thing. I thought it was sorted by like alphabetization at first or something. But doop doop. Okay, here we go. I found it. I found it. Oh, now it's gonna take a second to load. Okay. Uh, so these are direct quotes from my employee reviews. Like we did this annual like, you know, you 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 like fill out a thing like how do you think you performed in like the past calendar year, like how, and then you meet with your manager and like, so these are the pull quotes. um, Ben executes tasks quickly and at the highest level. Uh, Wait, what is this one? Oh, Ben digs into current projects with a level of detail that few others have mastered. Ben sets an excellent example with consistently strong productivity and dependability. Ben maintains a high standard of work in all his responsibilities. Ben can be counted on to do an excellent job juggling multiple assignments at once. Ben maintains an exemplary attitude. Ben is a very fast learner. Ben demonstrates excellent levels of proactivity. Ben is a tremendous asset to the department and to the company. So I don't know. You tell me if I can hack it. All right. So did I help with your research? Who is it? Some wolf guy? What the heck? Or Rex Stereo? What the heck? There you go. Add that to your data file. Um, what was I doing before then? We were adding environments to events. um, so yeah, right. So I'll just excuse me. I kind of want to make the pirate ship take place in a cave. I kind of want to put this event in the cave because that was like the example that I always used for like environments and event combinations that don't make sense. But like because I kept mentioning it, I started to like develop this mental picture of like an underground ocean where you find this pirate ship. So no, I shouldn't do that. But oh, and I say I say on the shore of a small tributary. So no, this is definitely the river. All right. And I don't know why the linking here isn't working, but let's pretend that it is, and we can fix that out later. Um, I actually didn't even have facial hair for the most of the time that I worked in AAA, so that might be why it didn't come up on my review. um, uh, so, those are the good reviews. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, my views weren't literally 100% positive. Those I did pull out like the some of the nicer quotes. The things that I did occasionally get like I never got low marks. I can tell you that. I never got low marks, but I did occasionally get like not high marks, and those were my areas for improvement. Um, so like the things that follow her. Space Ghost 93, welcome. Thank you very much for following. Welcome to the channel. Um, yeah, no, like, I guess, what was it? My emails were too wordy, was like the first thing that, got brought up. Because I would write these emails that are just like literally like multiple pages, and people didn't like that, so that was one of the things that came up on my review. And, it was, it was mostly stuff like that. Um, I don't know. I don't remember all of them. Admittedly, I don't. Uh, I'm not as proud of those. But I mean, I don't know. I can say like I'm not just being. I'm being boastful, but I'm not just being boastful when I say that the praise far outweighed the criticism. So, okay. Uh, the yeah. So okay. So the this event takes place in the river, and then, I mean, hmm, I guess like this. Yeah, right. These are the ones that just aren't going to make sense uh, until I have those jump cuts. Uh, So I don't know what to do about this. I guess like for now I could just say that they take place in the river. I mean, this is all very hypothetical because I'm annotating data for a system that doesn't exist yet, like which could depend on another system that still that also doesn't exist. So, um, uh, yeah, I'll just say that these take place in the river for now, and then I'll have to remember to come back and fix those uh, someday, perhaps. Okay. Uh, I'll also like once I annotate these things, I'll want to set up like right now I have at the start of the script I have like just a little snip that tells me like this line right here doesn't make a lot of sense independently, but I know to interpret this as this means there are 4 event type zeros, there are 8 event type 1, there are 9 event type 2, etc., etc. And that's just so I can keep track of like what is the overall balance of event types. And so similarly, once I set this up, I'll want to do something similar to I'll want to do something similar for the environment to make sure that there's a decent balance. Like it doesn't have to be literally across the board exactly even for all of the environments, but like, you know, each of the environments should at least have a few events that take place there so that we will, because like the idea, am I using Pygame? I am using Pygame, in fact, for this project. I'm, yeah, or Lauren answered before I could. um, yeah. Yeah, so I'm thinking like, once I like change over the way the once I connect environments to events, I'm gonna take out the hey Rex Terra, what the heck? Welcome to the channel. Sorry for intentionally mispronouncing your name, but thank you for following. So yeah, right now the reason the environments change is just because they're on a timer. Like every like I think it's like every half an hour the environments change. An online frequently asked question. The game is there's not really a oh yeah, well there's not like a frequently asked question section, but there's a I do have like an info page about it. Uh so like there's this. I'm happy to answer questions. Like anything that's not explained in the info page is I guess is probably something that I'm happy to answer or talk about, or who knows, maybe I'll be working on that part of the game and we'll go over it in detail. Yeah, so don't feel bad about that. Um, um, sorry, I missed the question that you asked earlier. Yeah, the pound signs. The pound signs indicate action tags. I've been calling them, which are basically just like how you interact with the game. Yeah, um, that's what that's about. So yeah, once we switch over to environments or events driving the environment, or vice versa, uh, I'm gonna take out like just the natural. Well, you know what I might do instead actually if we end up like so there's a degree of randomness that happens with event selection, and so if hypothetically like the event selection stays in the same environment for too long, like if it keeps accidentally like picking forest, like I can change it so that that there's like a backup. So like the system that currently automatically changes the environments, I guess I can just make it so that like maybe it happens, like it waits for a longer duration, and if the environment hasn't changed for the past like, ooh, ooh, actually, yeah, no, maybe I shouldn't even do that. Maybe I should just leave it completely to the environment selection system, because I was just thinking like if there's a system that like forces environmental changes, what if there's a quest chain that requires a specific environment? So like I mean I could set up like a very complex system where, you know, it'll wait for an hour, and if the event hasn't changed after an hour, then it'll check to see if we're in the middle of an event chain and like blah blah blah. But then I think it'll just probably be about as easy as anything to just get rid of that entirely. Either way, I do want a balance of events in different environments, because the location of the events doesn't just imply how frequently we go to that environment, but how much time we spend in that environment. So actually, if I wanted to make like a particularly rare environment, I could make like, you know, a very special environment, like I could, like, for example, if I could actually make the Hall of Dragons someday if I felt like it, and I could make it so that you only actually ever go to the Hall of Dragons for that one event, and then it would be super special, and you would like almost never go there, and I don't know, I could do things like that if I want to. But for the like most of the environments in the game right now are like, you know, they were originally made to be like about equally represented, like they're made to represent like diversity in like the ecosystem of this world. So, you know, they're supposed to get fairly even airtime. So, uh, oh, sorry, I'm just catching up on chat real quick. Uh, you could hypothetically, sorry, this I know you guys are talking, but just my 2 cents. Hypothetically you can make an entire game and like not encounter any difficulty. What I mean by that is like there are like there are a lot of tools for making games and a lot of there are a lot of like really heavily tread paths in game development. So like if you take a genre that already exists and you make a new game in that genre that doesn't really do much new, but just like, I don't know, maybe it's just like, you know, another whatever, you know, another Brick Breaker, or like, you know, another match 3 game or whatever. And like, you know, you could probably put an entire one together and ship it and call it a day without putting actually that much effort into it. I don't to be clear, I'm just saying that as like as one possible option. And then the nice thing about that is that you can actually choose from there, like how much effort you want to put into it. Because if you put a ton of effort into it, you can make like a great one that's like innovative and revolutionary and like super fantastic and stuff. But if you just want to go through the steps of making a game project, like you know, maybe just to learn how that all works, then you know, it could be, you know, fairly simple, fairly straightforward. Don't expect to like make game of the year that way, but like it's doable, right? Um, I was thinking like for one of my future projects, I might just do like a quick easy project. Like I'd probably use one of the prototypes that I already have and just like kind of like bang it out, right? Because there are some parts of the full like game life cycle or like project cycle that I've not done independently before, and so, you know, sometimes doing stuff like that is a good way to uh, get that experience, get that. So then when I, you know, when I make a bigger project, I'll have some insight as to what to expect throughout that process. So yeah. All right, I've been talking for a while. I should do some work. I should accomplish something. um, yeah, so I guess I'll finish marking up the quests, and like I'll just, yeah, for now I'll just like eyeball it, like try and get it so that the quests are about equal in terms of like what locations they're taking place in. Oh, the mirror universe takes place in a cave partly. So mirror universe should take place, or should take, yeah, mirror universe should take place either in the cave or in, no, it should take place in the mountains because you go to a cave, right? So mirror universe starts the chain, and then I keep opening these in. I should set to like open with, choose default program, more options. Whatever. I should just set the default to Notepad++, but whatever. Uh, yeah, so, alright, let's do these. Edit with Notepad++. Mirror Universe should take place in the mountains because this leads to cave, right? Do both of these outcomes lead to cave? Yeah, both of these outcomes lead to cave. Uh, and this should take place in a cave, clearly. So, alright, so Mirror Universe will take place in the mountains. Save that, save that. Focus will take place also in a cave. Because the focus is the, yeah, there's no reason to leave the cave in order to do focus, so that'll also be in the cave. So, Oh, sorry, I was just catching up on chat. That that sounds like a cool game, Ruxterra. I like CCGs. Like the game I play most right now is like Hearthstone because they just did it really well and like it's mildly addictive and like I always got to get more packs. um, Plato. I don't get your reference. Some of them say yes, this was inspired by a love of Plato, but not for any reason I understand. It was subconsciously inspired by a love for Plato. Hopefully, you can explain to me why that is the case. um, oh, what are my ideas? Uh, oh, wait, sorry, hold on. Let me read. Oh, wow, yeah, no, I missed some chat. Okay. Uh, oh, Templar Warden, sorry. Yeah. Um, oh, wow, I was gonna say, could you could you use my name to highlight the text? But you did use my name, and I still didn't. Templar Warden asked about. Uh, wait, where is it? Oh, what is working in AAA like? All right, no, I can totally answer that. Sorry about that. Sorry for taking like a million years to answer your question. What is working in AAA like? For prospective game design student, AAA versus smaller studio indie, what's the experience? Um, AAA is great because you don't have to do everything in AAA. You can do whatever you do, and you can find, well, you can hypothetically find a job for you. The actual process of finding a job, good luck. It's difficult, but good luck. And it is possible, so stick with it if that's what you want to do. And the nice thing about AAA is that you can work with a bunch of other people who all know what they're doing. Not 100%, but like, more or less. You can work with a lot of really experienced professionals who you can learn a lot from. I regret having spent as much time in AAA as I did because the last 3 years that I worked in AAA, I really wasn't doing anything. Like I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't like growing as a person. Um, but the first 3 years that I spent in AAA were fantastic, and I mean, I worked at a good company. I worked at a really good company. If you're gonna work at AAA, like if you can find like a company that you like, where you actually like the products and like the people, and you think they're good people and you think they're good products, like um, that is fantastic. Like that is the best way to do AAA in my opinion, or in my experience. Like if there's a better way out there, like I really can't imagine it. The Yeah, the thing to expect, I guess, is that whatever that one thing is that you do, like expect to basically be used for it. Like don't expect to feel like good about yourself at the end of the day necessarily. Don't expect to feel like enriched or fulfilled in any way. Expect to feel as though you provided that skill and that's all they wanted you for, and expect to feel a little bit slighted because they didn't care about anything else you did or said or contributed or tried to contribute. Um, but you get a paycheck. They give you money, and that's great. That's super fun. That was basically my experience with AAA. Comparatively, I've been working independently for not quite a year, like a little over half a year, and it's it's so fulfilling. Like all I do every day is exactly everything I want to do every day. Um, I've never like in such a short period of time, I've never grown so much as a developer. I've never been so happy about the things that I worked on, not just like to be working on them and doing what I love, but like at the end of the day, like just so I don't know, just like I basically like it's the closest you can get to being like a superhero without literally having like superpowers is like just this feeling of like you're legit doing like what you should be doing in the world sort of thing. Um, I haven't made any money. The only reason I'm still alive right now is because I I saved my pennies when I worked in AAA. I I'm right now I'm funding myself, which I've heard the advice pertaining to that. So I'm not trying to like fund myself indefinitely because I certainly couldn't do that. But I yeah, no, I'm basically yeah. So the other nice thing about AAA, or well, I said it already, but you get money, and then I don't know. I like if I could do it all over again, I would have done this 3 years ago. I would have taken the money that I'd saved at that point. I would have used it to like parlay into AAA, and or excuse me, to try and to like shift gears into independent development, and that would have given me a little more time to. Well, no, I don't know. It's like I can't give you the full rundown on indie stuff yet because I haven't actually had to deal with the money stuff yet. I have like some ideas about how I'm going to support myself as an indie someday, but who knows? Maybe I'll crash and burn. And like I said earlier, like it's entirely possible that I'll end up in AAA again, and that's if I end up in AAA again, that'll be why because I didn't figure out the money stuff. Um, um, oh. All right, I do get your Plato reference now, Rexter. Uh, um, yeah, I think that's I think that's what the cave environment means in this game. The cave environment is where you go to. There's not literally a cave. It's this. I mean, I could play into that. I could make the events that happen in the cave. I could make them the introspective events where you reflect on like who we are and how we operate as individuals. Um, how? Oh, well, I guess. Okay, so yeah, Templar Warden working on side projects in AAA. Some people can do it. Some people can do it just fine. I told myself I was going to continue to work on side projects while in AAA. The only time I ever did that though was between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. in the morning. So take that for what it's worth. So like you can totally do it, but me personally, like that was literally the only time I found to do it, and it wasn't like I never actually finished a project that way because it's just like I would start a project and I would get burnt out really fast. Um, yeah. All right, there's no reason I can't talk and annotate these quests at the same time. So if people have questions, please do keep them coming, and I'll try and be productive and talkative at the same time. Uh, so yeah, so what are other? Or did I miss any other questions? Now I feel bad that I missed questions. And oh, Legendary Neurotoxin. I did see you show up, and I was in the middle of talking to something. Legendary Neurotoxin, welcome to the channel. How's it going? um, I got to meet Legendary Neurotoxin in real life the other day, which was cool because that was like the first time that's ever happened that I met someone on Twitch first and then met them in real life. So I was psyched about that. We had a nice chat about a lot of things, a lot of stream related stuff. It was at the Twitch town hall in at PAX. So yeah. Um, um, so all right, Ogre Cave. I already did that one, right? I already did that one. So do I need to do any more of these? Like so Betrayal. I should figure out where the kingdom is located. But honestly, the kingdom is probably going to be located wherever is the most convenient to put the kingdom. Like it's probably going to end up in the snow place because like I'm guessing the fewest of these events will make sense in the snow place, and so to have any events in the snow place, like I guess it's the Snow Kingdom now. I don't know. So uh curse, is there anything? Oh yeah, no, there's the manor. So interesting. Oh yeah, okay. So you reach a stately old manor with faded with age. So it has to be someplace that a manor could exist. So the stone wall encircling the property leads to a cemetery set atop a hill before a sprawling vista. So that says to me like either the forest or the mountains. I think would be the most sensible place for this to occur, because the rest of it takes place in the interior of the manor, which again like. Well, okay, so yeah, okay, the interior of like a building like is something for which don't have to make like a full sprawling transition. Like to transition inside a building, I could just use the jump cuts that the jump cut, whatever. The frame rate. Yeah, the frame rate is literally 2 frames per second. Uh, I have it that way for a number of reasons. Like the reason I made it that way is because, so for one thing, I'm not an animator. So even if it went faster, it wouldn't look better. Uh, and the other reason is that I tend to like I use the comparison of like the little pewter figurines that you would use in like tabletop role playing. Um, I assure you, the gameplay will you will never find any impact on the gameplay. Like the game runs so thoroughly, like sufficiently fast that gameplay is 100% intact. You will never have an issue, or you will never experience lag, or your gameplay will never be affected by any of the visual the visual effects that you see in the game. The aesthetics, I guess, are the only question here, and so the so right so the I tend to think of the analogy for the graphics in this game as like the little pewter figurines that you'd use in tabletop, and instead of spending my time making very few figurines move, I'd rather um, I'd rather make like lots of figurines because like animation is neat. If you see a character walk smoothly, it's like cool. Look at that character walking smoothly. But you don't feel any like sense of ownership over the how your character walks. Like it's not like the characters walk differently. Like they'd all be characters and they'd all be walking. And like yeah, that's nice. It's aesthetically nice. Um instead of making like 24 frames of animation for like 5 characters, I want to make or like or so no, instead of making like 24 frames of animation for 2 characters, I'd rather make uh, 2 frames of animation for 24 characters. And then there's more diversity in the game. Like, I don't know, again, like if I was a full-time artist or something, then like maybe I would take on like a bigger art challenge. But like for me personally, I think the biggest bang for buck I can get is as we see here. I try and think about these things and make like good decisions for the project. Jocko, hey, how's it going? Uh, so, yeah, I keep opening these in Notepad when I mean to open them in Notepad++. Hey, new follower! Uh, Billers Plays Games, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for following. um, so, yeah, so where does this manor live? I guess for now I'll just say it takes place in the mountains, because there's nothing not mountainy about it. And it says like sprawling vista or something like that. Atop a hill, prefer sprawling vista. Whatever. No, you know what? Actually, if anything, this is probably going to take place in the snow. Now that I think about it. So I'm going to leave that one blank for now. Or like I'm not going to fill that one out yet. Um, yeah, because like it's supposed to be creepy, so why not make it take place in like a weird. Oh, and that also gives you more reason to actually like try and go into the manor. And like, yeah, I guess like so yeah, I guess I should keep I should start like uh jotting down like the because I have like a list of like environments that I want to do probably at some point, and I should start jotting down like some of the interiors. So like pirate ship, manor. Uh, I I'm probably gonna do like manor or castle. Like it's probably gonna be an indistinct building interior, um, because there are probably gonna be like yeah. I mean there are already basically like events that take place in that like there are events like as part of like the betrayal quest line that I would probably use the manor or the castle for them. Um, I mean I also should do the town or the village at some point because that one's gonna get a lot of heavy use once I implement it. Uh, so hold on, let me catch up on chat. Good Python tutorials. I don't know. I took like a brief course in Python. That's how I learned. So I never actually used any like written materials or anything like that for learning how to Python. If I find some, I'll let you know though. I'm not gonna look right now, but if I come across some, I'll I'll make a note. Um, uh, oh, cool. Sounds like Rex Terra's got the hookup there. Uh, am I missing anything in chat? If I miss a question in chat, please feel free to ask it again because if I miss it, I apologize and it would actually be helpful for me if you say it again. I do try and keep up with what's going on. Uh, yeah, there are a lot of options for like if you want to make a game now, right? Because like basically now that like last week happened, like every game engine is like free basically, right? You can use like you can make games in like basically any engine, and there's now like a free option, right? Like, uh, so that's cool because now you have like more you have more like variety like so like I from what I hear like well I don't know I've heard a lot of things. I've used a lot of game engines, and I've heard a lot of things about different game engines, and people seem to agree that like some are better for these things, some are better for these other things. So, um, all right. Sorry, that was really insightful. I know. Doomsday. This would take place in the village if I had a village. So maybe I should make the village. Ooh. Nah. Huh. The village is gonna be tough. Because in order to make the village, I actually have to make a lot of character art. Like it doesn't have to be as like fancy or like interesting as like the character art that I tend to make uh for like the players in the game. But the village is gonna have a bunch of people in it, and so they just gonna have to be like standing around, like environment people, like extras, I guess. um, but yeah, I think they're basically gonna like line the streets. Um, oh, that was the other thing is that I need to figure out how to. Yeah, before I do the village, I think I need a little bit of tech for the village as well because so like I set up some like stuff for the environments where like the river can like flow in a different direction than the background, for example. Um, I think I want to do something similar to that because in the village, I think I want people to actually be like walking around. I think I actually want people like walking in the opposite direction. So like the adventurers are walking in one direction, and then in the background, slightly in the background, there are other people like walking in the other direction, just so it feels like full and like there's like a lot of people there. But the thing that I don't have yet for the environments is animation. Like there's literally the environments like scroll past, but they don't themselves animate. Like they don't change frames; they just move across the screen. Um, and so in order to get other people walking around in the town, I would have to add that animation to the environment, which is probably doable. I mean, I could go the other way with it, and I could actually use the character animation system, um, and just like add like null characters to the environment and just have them move around like that, or like, yeah, I don't know. I'll yeah, I actually have another task where like I was thinking for some things like it'd actually be helpful to just add like small patches of animation to the background too. So like for example, when you exit the cave into the river, there's a waterfall. But right now the waterfall is like in the background and it doesn't like it's the water is pretty still. Like one of the things I'd want to do for animating the environment is uh oh fine, you don't like that. I don't think like talking about a game is like legit unproductive. I know I haven't like made any much if any material progress recently, but like talking about these things is good too because like if you never take the time to like reorient your project and you just keep gunning in like whatever direction you started on, you're gonna end up with a really bad project. I mean, it's gonna be exactly like you pictured in the first place, but like let's be honest, like the when you start a project, it's just an idea. Like you don't know literally every detail, or if you do, you're probably cloning someone, and so. um, no, I don't know. I'm not too apologetic about the time I spend figuring stuff out, just because it's how you make good decisions. Is yeah, okay. Uh, um, I did a I did a concept of energy in the game. It's not energy like stamina. I was just reminded of it when you mentioned that because like the way it works is it represents like players' activity levels. I do use Paint.net. Uh, they're much better. So I my sprites they're not like pixel art, so like they're like small, like they're low resolution art, but like I don't draw them pixel by pixel. I draw them like broad stroke, brush stroke. They're so like the end result is slightly more painterly than like illustrated. Uh, well, no, I mean it's still very illustrated, but it's like it's not like it doesn't have the sharp edges of pixel art. And so, if I was trying to do like pixel art sprite art, I would probably use a very different program. But I mean, I don't know. Paint.net is free and it's completely sufficient. So, um, all right, I will make some progress. So Doomsday, yeah, the village. Uh, oh yeah. So my thing about the waterfall, I was just saying, like I think I'll basically like be putting like animated gifs into the background is my goal for that. It's been in the backlog for a while because it's not high priority. Like it doesn't you can't it's the game is playable without animated gifs. It might be in limbo. Uh, oh, make level gifs. Oh no, that's not it. Huh. I don't remember where I put it, but it's in here somewhere. um. So. Right, what were we doing here? So, arson, betrayal, curse, doomsday, dragon hall, king day. Yeah, some of these like they should have environments, but those environments aren't made yet. So, or like there's an environment that would be super fitting, but it's not made yet. Um, One-offs. Yeah, so let's look at the one-offs. Boulder, that should definitely be in the mountain. Uh, Mountains, yes. So it's fine. Bridge, yeah, this should be in the forest. Forest, because as we were saying, I mean, it mentions water, but it also mentions vines. And, like, hey, congratulations to everyone who leveled up. Looks like a few of you did. Wow, look at everyone. Look at all you guys. Uh, Making up funny limericks. Good job. Okay. So, yeah, that's good. Cricket race, like this would take place in the village, but it right now it just takes place in an in specific tavern. So you can find taverns like wherever you go, I guess hypothetically. Farmstead. Does that matter? I mean, it would make a little less sense if it took place in the snow. So, I mean, yeah, and I'm gonna come up with a location for all of these eventually. So farmstead snow doesn't make as much sense. What if I haven't been doing very many in the river. Like there could be a farmstead near a river. Those do yeah, the lands near the river look oh, thank you, Jacka. The lands near the river do look very much like farmland, so that could be fine. Uh yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, I'll call that the river. Uh oh, cave. I haven't been doing very many cave things. So, yeah, Ghosts is another one where it might take place. Yeah, like it refers to like it would make most sense in like a castle interior or something. But again, I'll have to do jump cuts later. So Kitty Tree, Kitty Tree, pretty clearly the forest because direct references to trees. Malady could be basically anywhere. Maybe that might make sense for the snow. Although I shouldn't make everything terrible happen in the snow, because then, then people will just be like horrified whenever it starts snowing. Um, this is pretty clearly the forest. I mean, it could be like the mountains, but it mentions flowers, so yeah. The forest. Oh no, the forest wasn't literally the first environment that I made, but I do tend to like when I picture this game, it tends to I tend to picture the forest just because it's just ripe for exploration. I grew up in a forest. I grew up, and like my favorite thing to do, my favorite way to spend the time was to wander around in the forest around my house. I mean, not like it was actually like video games, but like when my parents made me go outside, it was I would just wander around in the forest. Uh, Yeah, so just because eight adventurers made up a funny limerick, like you don't automatically level up every time you make up a funny limerick. You gain experience when you like that's what that event indicates, is that eight adventurers gained experience because they made up a funny limerick, and then so four of them leveled up. That's because four of them gained enough experience from making up a funny limerick to level up. Is what that happens. But yeah, the other thing you can notice when that happens is even though only four of them leveled up, eight of them showed like the experience gain in there, because like yeah, so you know when like when the name tag shows up, like Trusty Bard hasn't been participating in the action, so it just shows Trusty. Oh yeah, here we go. Templar Warden. It says 2 experience, right? It's showing your experience because you've been participating in events, and so clearly you've indicated that you are a player who cares about their experience points. So it shows that. It doesn't only just show your experience, though. When you gain experience, it shows how much experience you gained. So for... Oh, yeah. Okay. So the passive events are a little funny because if you're a character who has... if you're a player who has expressed interest in their experience points, which is something you do by participating in events, then when you gain experience, it will show your experience gains in your name tag. So if 4 people leveled up, some number of those, so 8 people gained experience, 4 of them leveled up, and regardless of whether you expressed interest in your experience points or not, we still see the level up flashes. Some number of those 8 players, possibly 0, if none of them have been participating in events, it might have been that 0 of those players like showed the experience gains in their name tag. But if hypothetically all 8 of them had done so, then you would have seen 8 individual players like say, it would have said like how much is a limerick worth? I think it's probably worth like 3 experience or something like that. It would have said like for 3, yeah. Okay. You get the idea. Okay. So Rainstorm, yeah, this one probably takes place in the forest. Hey, DePeso99, welcome. Thank you very much for following. Welcome to the channel. I was gonna say I was gonna say this would take place in a forest, because when it says, will you build a tent? I was picturing you building the tent out of like sticks and leaves and stuff like that. But I guess there's nothing that like is literal about that. And then the thing, so the other thing is like I was thinking actually maybe it should take place in a mountain, because in the mountains, because the mountains so far are the only environment that can transition into the cave. And so if I did ever feel like extending this, then I don't know, I'll do the mountains, because like if it's between the mountains and the forest, no, it could be the river. It could actually make a lot more sense as the river, because to get to the river you actually emerge from a cave. I don't know. This is fun. Cool. In the snow. Yeah, that was like that's the one thing that wouldn't make as much sense. One of the things that I was thinking of yesterday is that would be kind of nice is if I just had like a toolkit of like special effects that I could kind of do. I don't know how often I would use it, but I was just thinking like, what if like right now there's a like okay, so for the snowy background, like so in order for there okay, so no, right now there's a snowy forest, right? There's a snowy forest and it's snowing. Hypothetically, like we could have the snowy forest and it not be snowing. We could have the snowy forest and clear skies. Or we could even have like the regular forest and then snowing. Because like for people who live in environments where it snows, you know that like just because it snows doesn't mean it actually accumulates. Sometimes it just snows and then like, you know, it melts as soon as it hits the ground, and like if it only snows for like a short period of time, like those are like feasible. Those are like not mutually exclusive things. So like it was occurring to me like well so for an event like this where it says it starts raining, like I could actually make it start raining. If like, I mean, it'd be more tech. It'd be a lot more tech and more art production too, because I'd want to make sure that the clouds. Hey, Tom C plays. Welcome. Thank you very much for following. Welcome to the channel. the yeah, basically, I like if I felt like it, I could separate those things out. So like the precipitation could be like completely separate, and then like it could snow anywhere. Well, it probably wouldn't snow inside the cave because that'd be a little weird. But it could like yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably worth considering at some point. I could add this to the backlog. Uh, this is what happens when I work on too many like content related things. Like yesterday and today, I've been like writing events and working on art, and so like the system design itch comes back. All right, so label. So yeah, even beyond precipitation though, I'm actually thinking of this as like I was thinking of like other things I could add to. Maybe precipitation is like the way to start with this, but like I was like trying to think of other things that could happen. Like I could have fire or something. Like I could have like fires and smoke or something. Because like in like events like arson or in events where like there's conflict, like I could have like fire and smoke show up. I don't know. I was just thinking like so I kind of like as a long term goal, I kind of want a toolkit of little extra things that I can add during specific events or just like at various times. So just to give more variety and do a little more in the way of illustrating the game itself. So I guess for now I'll just call this uh, like I don't know like so like modular environment. And I can spell environment. And I'm gonna climb some stairs if you guys don't mind. Environment features, precipitation, fires, etc. Oops, I can spell. Yeah, pretty sure that's something I'll want to add at some point. Um, um, Okay, sorry, I was just catching on chat real quick. Uh, all right, yeah, let's continue parceling out these events. So, rescue, they can be anywhere, basically, almost anywhere. Yeah, once I'm done putting the ones that require specific locations in specific locations, I should probably go through and figure out which ones can I put in the cave, which ones can I put in the snow, because those are the ones that are gonna, like, if I just go by like what is most natural or whatever, or like what comes to mind first, they're all gonna end up in the forest, or maybe some of them in the mountains, and then occasionally some in the river. But like actually, treasure makes sense in the cave. So I guess I could start doing that now. But hold on, let me just double check. So rainstorm, rescue, riot. Yeah, riot would definitely take place in the village once we have the village, but whatever. Treasure. So treasure, yeah, actually makes sense in the cave. Uh, so riot doesn't make as much sense in the cave. I could put it in the snow because it makes about as much sense there as anywhere else. But uh, I don't know. Rescue. This one could go in the snow. Why not? But like I said, I shouldn't put every bad thing in the snow because that'd be funny. Uh, I should probably make that script to read in. Yeah, actually, I already have the script. I'm just gonna modify it. Uh, I have this other script. File open event type counts. Yeah. So uh, so right now we just read in the event type and we just put together like a count of where the events take place. So now let's say so like lines string data split blah blah blah. So lines index 0 split blah blah blah. Event type count. Okay, so then we'll also say oops, yes, unlock all PyCharm. Thank you very much. So lines environment equals lines index 1 dot split on the space character index 1. Oh wait, no, we can't yet because we have to say if the length of env is greater than 1. If there is an environment specified, then oh yeah, so I guess we'll say so env count, I guess, will be it'll just equal what? Like how do we want to do this? I mean, they go by name, so yeah, I guess yeah, whatever. All right, so I'll just say it'll just be a dictionary. I don't care. Uh, so if env is greater than, if the length of env is greater than 1, then we'll say if env index 1 is in env count dot keys. So if this is not the first time we've encountered this environment, then we can just say env count index env index 1 um, plus equals 1. And then in the case that this is so in the else case, in the case that it's not already in the dictionary, then we can just say env count index env index 1 equals 1. So now we're just going through, and so if the event has an environment specified, it will increment that environment up a bit. So at the end, when we can, so we're printing out the event type count, and we can also print now. Actually, I don't know if I can do this. I want to see what happens if I just print the dictionary. Like, will it print the dictionary in a way that yeah, I'm a little bit bouncy. I'm just climbing stairs. I hope you guys don't mind. So I don't know. I don't think I've tried to print a dictionary before, so I don't know how this is going to work out. But let's find out. So I'm just going to run this script, and okay, cool. So cool. That's perfect. So yeah, there are literally no snow yet. So yeah, we have, this is like the script just does the same thing as the other script, where it prints out like the event types, but then it also now prints out these backgrounds, or these environments as well. So wow, yeah. So wow, I didn't expect the river to win, but yeah. So far I've done 4 mountains, 8 river, 5 cave, 4 forest, and I've done no snow yet. Because like none of the events that I've written so far required snow, because I would, like, up until, I mean, and still to this point, like I still haven't added in the system whereby events and environments actually like work together, but I mean, yeah, so I can never rely on the presence of snow, and so I wouldn't have written events specifically trying to involve snow. But all right, so yeah, snow. We just not make a lot of things snowy is what we need to do. And the nice thing about this script is that I don't have to rerun the other script, or I don't have to like cancel the other script, so I can just keep checking this intermittently as I annotate it to help balance stuff out. So wow, yeah. So I shouldn't be using the river very much, because the river is used for very many things apparently already. All right, so let's put some stuff in the snow. What makes the most sense to go in the snow? Betrayal. Oh yeah, I was thinking the kingdom could be in the snow. I mean, that would cover it, right? That's because the kingdom actually represents a lot of events. Like, what is this? 7 events, and then King Day. Well, King Day's still just 1 event, but that's 8 events right there. So the Snow Kingdom, I guess it would be. Sure. Why not? It's not like there's a. Well, that'd be a temporary thing. Because, like. I don't know. That's fine. Whatever. Uh, wait, yeah, there's nothing here that would be incompatible with snow, I don't think. No, this should be fine. Alright. Edit. Whoops. I did not mean to do that. I meant to. With Notepad++. Alright, so. Snow. Let's copy that. Save that. Paste and save. 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 Click in the correct location, paste and save. Paste and save. Alright, so, yeah, let's, is there a way to just close all of these at the same time? Yeah, there we go. Oh, oops, cancel. Close all but this one, excuse me. Alright, and then, I should probably do something with this one. All this environment stuff was, initiated just because I I was trying to write that one event, and all of this started occurring to me. Alright, so now there's plenty of snow. There's actually not very many mountains and forests, but those are so easy. Like, pretty much any event can get put in the mountain or the forest, so I'm still not gonna do that yet. I'm gonna look for more cave events. And I should do, oh yeah, that's, Ah, huh. Maybe that's fine. Yeah, it was just occurring to me, like, because, like, Betrayal is actually one quest line. It's just one quest line that always has, like, 3 events to it. Like, there's always 3 events in the sequence. Uh, it kind of, so yeah, I mean, there are now 8 events that happen in the snow, but there's actually only 2 events that can get chosen that happen in the snow. Like, the rest are non-starters. Which is, I use the term non-starter, but I use it in a way that it's not supposed to be used. By that I actually just mean like they're non-starters, or what I've been calling quests that happen down a quest line that like they don't initiate the chain of events. They are subsequent events in the chain. So that's weird. I don't know. I'm. What is the relationship between like the ability to start a quest and the extent to which it contributes to like how much time is spent participating in that? Yeah, no, you know what? Since like this is listed as 7, but I think it actually only counts as 3, kind of. Yeah, it doesn't have to be exact, so I probably shouldn't worry about it. But I mean, it's something just to think about, like how like when quests branch, like the thing that I actually want to represent like as balanced throughout these is like most closely I want it to be I want it to be how much time you would spend in these locations mostly, like, you know, give or take. And to represent that, it's about like, yeah, so like a quest chain that is like 9 quests long and it's all linear, right? Then that's going to take a lot of time in that one place. But if it's a branching quest and it's like the first one has like 3 possible outcomes, and each of those have like several possible outcomes, then like, you know, that quest chain might, maybe there's a way to get through that quest chain so that there's only like 2 events or something, right? Like maybe you don't yeah, yeah. So like, despite the fact that they both represent as like 9 events in that environment, like they could represent very different amounts of time. So that's weird, but I don't care right now. I'll figure that out later. Um, so yeah, the cave stuff, right? That's what I'm looking for. So treasure, right? That was one of the ones that, or did I already put that in the cave? Because treasure makes a lot of sense in the cave. Yeah, very good. Uh, so riot, rescue, rainstorm, meadow, malady, kitty tree, ghosts. Yeah, an underground castle. That's fine. Creepy underground castle, of course. You know those. You know how those are. I actually do kind of want to make an underground city as as one of the environments. I think that'd be cool. Uh, Festival, not really something you do in a cave. Cricket race, an underground tavern. That's weird. Boulder. Oh, Boulder can live in the cave. Yeah, surely. Uh, totally makes sense in a cave. Cool. All right. So Ogre Cave, that does partially take place in a cave. Mirror Universe partially takes place in a cave. King Day, no. Dragon Hall partially takes place in a cave, right? Dragon Hall? Yeah, it takes place in a cave. Uh, Doomsday doesn't really make sense for a cave. Nah. Mad Science. Yeah. Doomsday. Oh, well, I mean, one of the things is to roll it down a nearby mine shaft, which kind of makes sense for a cave. So maybe. Wait, hold on. What if it took place? What if the first half took place in the mountains, and then wait, what's the reward? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh. Huh. Um. If I made Doomsday take place in a cave, then rewards would either have to take place in a cave or in the river, and it doesn't necessarily make sense either way. So that's I'll not put that in the cave. Curse. This takes place in the mountains, right? Or the manor. Oh, I guess I didn't decide yet. Yeah, I was kind of putting that off until later. Betrayal, arson. Yikes. Yeah, there's. Alright, so apparently cave's the difficult one. How many did I manage to cram in there? 7. Could be worse. Maybe that'll be one of my challenges to write more. To write more. Uh, yeah, right. Yeah, Lauren. Yeah, you know like everything about this game. um, yeah, the two environments that I really wanted to make as soon as I'd made the cave environment was an underground city, like yeah, to imply that like those crumbled structures were like basically like you go down some passage, then it's like all of a sudden it's like oh this is what those were, and it's like big stone structures and like all this cool stuff. That I mean, I could literally. It doesn't even have to be an abandoned underground city. I could make it like a dwarf city or something. Like, I mean, because like in mythology, like a lot of times dwarves live underground. But like, just like it could be like, or it could just be like a shady like underground. Like I don't know, because then I could do things like putting like the cricket event in the underground. Uh, Uh, is that how you got to like max level and like and stayed at max level for like the entire game? Is that how that happened? Um, for those who don't know, Lauren is a professional side quest player. Uh, uh, Topping the there's not literally like an experience leaderboard or anything like that, but if there was, we don't need one because we all know who's at the top of it. We do know. Um, all right, so mountain and forest are really easy. So I guess I should check for snow or river to see if there are more that I could put into those places. Actually, no. You know what? I can just start. I can just start putting things in the. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna do a pass and put things in their best fit location, and then if it gets weird, then I'll start adjusting it. So arson takes place. I think it can make most sense in the river, actually. Interestingly. Uh, why the river? Oh, because I was thinking a naturalistic place, but not necessarily the forest, because the forest, it'd be weird for the event not to mention a forest fire. Yeah, river's fine. Save that. Oh, and so then, so actually, wait, should they all? Oh, actually, maybe, yeah. So it'll all just take place in the river, I guess. River. Save that. Whoops. I did pound sign river. Whoops. Have it. My bad. So then aid. Yeah, this is also fine. River. Save that. And then, okay. Close all about that. What else? So arson, betrayal. I already did. Curse. Did I do this one? No, I didn't do this one yet. I'll put this one in the mountains. I think that makes more sense. Mountain, mountains, plural. Excuse me. Mountains, uh, mountains. Save that. Interior. I mean, again, this is where I'd be using jump cuts to an interior, but alas, someday. Curse. Yeah, right. This is all just part of mountains for now. Save that. Oh yeah, so the jump cuts will be interesting because I think. Oh yeah, the jump cuts will be interesting. I'll need to do it in two ways. I'll need to have it so that. Well, no, I guess it's fine. I can do it just like any other environment and just make it so that if the environment doesn't have natural transitions, that the. Well, yeah, no, actually that'll just be the rule of thumb. Like, if there exists no natural transitions, then the game will just automatically impose a jump cut. And actually, the cool thing about that is that, like, if I want to go from like the mountains to the river, I didn't make a transition. I didn't make an actually like artistic transition drawn out for those environments. But like, if I super need to like, if I need to make it an event that goes from the mountains to the river, then I could use a jump cut in places like that. All right, so that's cool. Uh, Curse, Doomsday, Dragon Hall. Those are done already. Doomsday. Oh, wait, was Doomsday done yet? Uh, no, it wasn't. I lied. These will just go in the forest. Uh, yeah, that's fine. So actually, I don't know. I kind of like the river as like a place where the village and villagers and stuff. How many? Oh, but I only have 4 forest and I have 11 river already. So I'll put some in the forest. I guess I don't know. It makes enough sense there. Oops, I keep opening these in Notepad by accident. Uh, Not that it makes a huge difference. So forest, yeah, there are a lot of villages. Some of them in the forest, some of them other places. There could be a village in the mountain. Maybe like the kidnapping will happen in the mountain or something. I was just I don't know why. For some reason, that seems like the type of thing that might happen in a mountain village. There's mountain folk there. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Dragon Hall is done already. King Day done already. Yeah. Mirror Universe done already, right? Because Mirror Universe takes place in the mountains. Yeah. Okay. Right. Because then it moves into the cave. Ogre Cave done already. One-offs I need to come back to. Pirate Ship is done already because right now it's the river. All right. So which of these are done? Which of these are not done? Let's find out. Ghosts takes place in the cave because apparently there's an underground castle for some reason. Boulder takes place in the cave. That makes sense. Bridge takes place in forest. Cricket race takes place in the forest, I guess. Farmsteads on the river. Festival will be. How are we doing in balance now? We're up to 8 in the forest. So I was thinking the river, but we could do forest. Oops. So forest is fine there. Ghosts. Kitty tree. Yeah, that's forest. Malady. Huh. I mean, this can be any of them. We don't have any mountains, so I'm gonna. Kind of like how everything terrible happens in the snow. I think a lot. Oh yeah, the snow is another fun one too. Oh yeah, actually this one I think was one that I. Yeah. Okay. Hey, new follower. Kynarth, welcome. Thank you very much for following. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I think this is one that I thought. I don't know. It seemed like might make sense. To happen in the snow because like you're looking for a root plant and that's like. Would be extra hard to find in the snow and like I don't know people in the snow get sick a lot. I assume they get. I just associate like snow with flu season. I guess is what that's. Um. The wait. I didn't just close that one. That one actually had a thing, right? I think. I'm pretty sure Meadow takes place in the forests. I think it'd have to be, right? Um, so a rebel gang. Yeah, this one I was thinking would be the mountains for no particular reason. I just like, in my mind, I like try and picture like how do these events go down, and like for some reason I was just picturing like the rebel camp or whatever, to be like on a mountainside for some reason. So I don't know. I don't have like a great reason as to why, but a riot. Yeah, this is one of those ones that's it's not gonna seem contextually appropriate anywhere until I have the village made. So I might as well just put it like basically wherever. And this is literally the last one that I haven't done yet. So oh, actually, you know what I should do is I should make sure that I'm not leaving any blank. So in the else case, let's say uh, env or let's do this again. Except let's say instead of env1, then we'll say like blank, just to make sure I'm not forgetting. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I don't think I left any blank, but let's find out. I left 3 blank. And that's why we test stuff like that. Really? 3 of them? Did I just forget to save them or something? So cave, mountains, river, forest, snow. Wait, hold on. Oh, well, this one. Oh, I never. Well, okay, this one. Yeah, I just forgot to save, or forgot to fill out and save before I ran the script. But so that explains some of it. But what do the stars above the characters mean? Yeah, the stars represent energy, energy, which is this like this measure that I added in, which basically the way. Okay, so the way you get energy is by participating in events. Everyone's energy like slowly drains over time. The players with the highest energy have stars above their head. So basically what the stars represent are the players who are the most active, the players who are the so the reason I added this in, if you participate in an event, you get like, you get perfect, or you get like, whatever result you get from that event. And if you do enough events, you gain experience over time and you level up your character. So there's like the long goal of leveling up your character, and there's the immediate goal of like completing events. But I wanted something like in the middle, something to like represent that like you're doing well at events. And so the players who consistently have high energy are the ones who are going to be leveling the fastest. But I kind of, before they actually like get to the higher levels, I wanted some representation of like, here's a recognition of like your excellent work, like good job, keep up the good work, sort of thing. So that's where, so the players with the highest energy have gold stars, and then the players who have high energy but not the highest energy have silver stars. That's what that's about. So right, yeah. So where was the riot gonna take place? I guess like the forests. I don't know. There's a forest in the middle of a town square, or else there's a town square in the middle of the forest. Either way. All right, so there should be 2 without. There should be 2 that I still haven't added environments to. Which 2? I should probably that'd probably be the more interesting statistic, is to find out what which 2 they are. So I should when this happens, I should say print name, I guess. Yeah. So all right, let's see which they are. Oh yeah, Bubbler. Yeah, right. Oh, and I didn't give King Day. All right, I decided what King Day was supposed to be. I just didn't actually give it one. I feel like Bubbler is probably going to be either the forest or the river. I can add that in a second. I can add it in for now, but I should probably ask Protospasm about it later. Uh, cool. Uh, all right. So yeah, King Day. All right. Snow, and and then yeah, I forgot about the other one. Bubbler. Quiet descends as you enter a clearing centered around a shimmering. So this is clearing, which makes me think forest. So yeah, I'm gonna call this one forest. Save that. All right, cool. So now how did we do overall? Uh, we filled them all up, and then yeah, so they're all in the range. So cave has 7, and snow doesn't actually have 10. Like it says 10, but it's actually like the 7 that it has is actually yeah. So snow is still really meager because like the 7 that it has really only counts as like 3. So yeah. Um. So what is that? That's like so snow actually only has like 6 basically. But like some of these other numbers are like slightly inflated as well. That's good. That's good enough. I feel like. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, the other thing I can do now is now that I know like what areas need more events, then I can start working on that sort of thing. So yeah, speaking of events, I've been like on an event kick lately, but I don't know. I think I kind of want to do the. I could write the events. I could do this in either order at this point. I'm very tempted to like do the environment stuff first. Though. Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna put the environment tech in right now, just in case. I was just thinking like yeah, I was thinking of like not putting the environment tech in imminently because I like that the game isn't crashing much right now, and I was gonna leave it as like not as crashy for this week. So maybe I should just do more content stuff. And there are plenty. There's like I mean like this tech implies a lot of content too, right? Like the jump cuts means that I could make a pirate ship environment if I wanted to. So I can make a pirate ship environment if I want to. I can make a castle interior environment if I wanted to. I can make the visual effect for the transition itself. Although that I'll probably want to have the tech up and running for because I'll want to do a lot of like comparison, like you know, I really have no clue what that how that's gonna work. I have only the vaguest idea of how that's gonna work. I have a few ideas about how that might work. No, I was literally like in my head just then, like picturing like what it could do. The tough thing is like the how the environments render right now. I in order to do anything super clever, I'd have to like the thing. What I want to do is make like a wipe. I want to make it so that like a special effect moves across the screen, or actually it'd probably go in this direction. It moves across the screen, and like so like it'd be it'd just be like a I don't know like some like wavy like squiggly like you know how like in like film like when there's like a flashback or something it goes like you know like all those like that one of those like so basically like a distortion wave that goes across the screen, and on one side of the wave is the environment you're in, and on the other side of the wave is the environment you end up in, so it just kind of like swooshes across. And I think that'd be really cool. That's like how I'd want to do it. The thing about that is that in order to do that, I basically need to duplicate my entire environment rendering code. And the reason that that is a concern is that the place where we render environments is where it's where does it start? It starts here if bgtrans equals 0, and it goes down to here. It's pretty hefty. And so if I was going to do that twice, only for this one special transition, like that would be kind of a lot. I feel like that might be possibly too much. I might not want to go that far with it. Um, so it's I haven't ruled it out. Like I could I could just no, there's no good justification for it. But like it'd be technically doable. I guess is the best thing I can say about it. So then in terms of like what other effects it could be so one thing it could be is I could use like a similar sort of effect, except instead of wiping them into each other, I could have the first one wipe out and then the next one wipe in, and that would not require duplication because all I'd have to do is set up the wipe effect to basically like erase out part of it. So like yeah, right now this renders all the way across the screen, but I could just put in like a conditional statement for it to render only to a specific point, and then just move that point around to make it like animate across more or less of the screen, and so I could have that point, and or I could do that on either end of the. I could have a value for either end of it, and then basically just like have it crunch down, and then like probably give way to like something. So just so that it doesn't. I mean, it could be literally blank. It could literally just show my desktop underneath. Because like if you look, I'm not actually going to turn off the game, but I'm just going to hide it for a second. If you look underneath the game, there's like this blue. There's like this blank blue, whatever. So like, sorry about that. So I don't know. The sky would still be there, I guess. um, I don't know. I really don't. I really don't. Um, so yeah, the other thing I could do, some of the other things I'd been thinking about before, I could add, I could make everything like move down off the screen, and then come back up. Um, there are pros and cons there too. Like one of the cons, like the pro would be that it'd actually be very simple because like basically nothing, basically all that would change is literally the vertical position of the screen. It would all just move down off the screen, and then it would just flip instantaneously. Which I already have we can already change environments easily, and then it would just move back up onto the screen. The thing about that is that this since the sky is like I'm gonna hide the graphics again. Don't worry, the script's not actually going anywhere. Because the sky is not part of the script, it would stay in the same place. So whereas that was like an advantage with the other approach, like it'd actually be kind of a disadvantage because it would look a little weird in some cases. Hmm. What are the other options, I guess? So like I could do a vertical wipe, I guess. Like kind of like the horizontal wipe, except just do it vertically instead. Uh, yeah, I don't know. That one might be fine. Like maybe just have like something like come up to hide the scene, and then the scene changes and it goes back down. Um, if the graphics were different, like if there was like a top of the screen, because like one of the weird things about side quests is that there's no top of the screen. Like you, nothing ever like touches like the top of the screen. It all just like resolves naturally, because like there is no top of the screen. The top of the screen is just my is just me and like my desktop and everything. So um, I thought it'd be cute to have like a curtain come down and have it change behind the curtain and then the curtain come back up. But there is no there. Where would the curtain come from? There is no curtain. Uh, uh, all right. Well, I'll keep thinking about that. And in the meantime, yeah, I can write quests. Maybe I should write quests for specific environments now. That's a little weird. I shouldn't go crazy with making quests that reference specific environmental features because like I said, there's still the chance that it doesn't actually work out the uh, and the game for whatever reason I have to like dial back that feature. I really hope that's not the case. I really hope it does work out. It has to work out. Okay. Uh, so maybe I should just give up on my "don't make the script crash this week" thing, or I could just do environment art, right? Because that was the other thing. I keep saying that I need the village. I kept saying like, I mean like the pirate ship and like the interior space. Like those are both cool, but like for a ton of those, I said I needed the village. And just in general, like the village would be a cool thing to have. Oh, but that also requires tech, which means code changes, which means crashes. I mean, it's not like every time I change code, I get a crash, but like I haven't changed the code all this week and we haven't gotten any crashes yet. So, right, it's like I'm enjoying the stability for a moment or two. Uh, I man, this is why I shouldn't think about this stuff because now I like now no matter what I think now no matter what I think I should do, I can think of other things that I want to do first. um, so I'll probably just say to heck with it and make the game really crashy. I'll probably just say, oh well, the game's really crashy. Oh well, right? Like, well, I don't know. I to be honest, like I've started telling people about the game, which is why I wanted to keep it not crashy. Well, I wanted to keep it stable so that if those people stopped by and they're like, "Hey, show me this game you've been talking about," I could be like, "Oh, here it is." Um, because like if someone stops by and they're like, "Oh, tell me about or show me this game you've been telling me about," and the game is like not runnable at that point, that makes I don't know. Doesn't make for a very good demo, right? It's like here, let me show you how it crashes. Um, I could back up the project, so that way if they oh that's gross. Actually, no, it's not so bad because all I'd have to do is back up the script. Yeah, and then if they want to see the script run, as long as I don't make any data changes that would make the backup copy of the script, as long as I don't, yeah, as long as I don't change the data in a bad way to make it incompatible, then that should be fine. Actually, yeah, tech with that. All right, we're gonna, so we're gonna, so Journey is the name of our script because that used to be the name of the project. Copy here. We're just gonna call this like Journey stable, and good. Now we have that one. So if we need to run the game for whatever reason, or like actually, this is good too because like sometimes if I get the game to like a crashy state, it takes me a long time to debug it and figure it out and get it fixed. And so this way, if that happens, we can just run the stable version of the project while I fix the real version of the project. So that should be good, I think. Cool. All right, cool. We're doing it, you guys. We're setting up. Oh yeah. So the first thing that I'll want to do is I should keep track of this somehow. So uh, wait, did I forget to add a card? No. Uh, yeah. So the first thing I want to do is I'll call it like environment transitions on slide 1, which sounds like a weird thing that doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to me because right now I made it for convenience. Like it was just quicker to instead of waiting for or instead of making the code versatile so that it could we could run a transition on either uh, slide. There are two slides in the environment. I just arbitrarily said, okay, we always transition on slide 0. So right now the game always waits for slide 0 in order to transition, but we will want to change that so that we can transition on either slide. Otherwise we might, if we only transition on slide 0, then sometimes it can take us up to like 32 minutes in order to transition just from one environment to another. And admittedly, if we had jump cuts, then we could still get by. But no, I just to the extent that we have like transitions in the game, we should use them. I mean, that's the other thing. The alternative is that we could cut all natural transitions from the game and just have jump cuts for everything. Uh, it would increase art production time because then I could make a new environment a lot faster. Because then, in order to make a new environment, all I have to do is just make the environment itself, just make the core environment loop. Um, as is now, in order to make a new environment, I have to make the environment loop. I have to make a transition from another environment, and I have to make a transition to another environment. So I have to make like, instead of just fabricating like 4 layers for one environment, I have to do 12 layers, right? Because 4 times 3. And that's assuming it's not a special environment. If it's a special environment, I have to do extra layers for like the all the extra. I no, this shouldn't be too hard. I can do the environment transitions. Although if this proves to be like hairy or impossible for some reason, I guess I always have that as like the backup. Uh, um, actually, that's pretty smart. Yeah, right. Having a just like setting up a separate chat channel. Yeah, I do have separate chat channels too. I have like, well, I have Trusty Bards that we can use, and also back in the day before Trusty Bard, the game was run by JourneyBot, so I could use that one. That's a JourneyBot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure JourneyBot's chat channel was the one that we used for development of the project before we actually before we brought it into this channel. Uh, so that is clever. Uh, you're a smart person, Lauren. Uh, um, so uh, uh, yeah, let's give this a shot. Let's see how this goes. And worst case scenario, we can use that other chat channel. We might need it. It's possible that we won't. It's possible that it'll all just work, right? Hypothetically, could happen. Has this script hasn't been hitting any weird errors, has it? No. All right, all good. Excellent. Uh, uh, so yeah, how's your project coming along, Lauren? Are you still? You started working on a I forget, was it an overlay game or was it it was something similar, right? It was like, or oh, actually even before your recent project, you you've yeah, all right, no, whatever. No, yeah, no, it just occurred to me like you've even apart from that stuff, you've done like you've done chat stuff before, so yeah, yeah, right, there we go. All right. um, so yeah, yeah, all right. The transition stuff. I think this won't be too hard. So there's one weird thing about the transitions is that the reason I chose frame 0 is because if I use frame 0 as a so okay, so the very back frame moves at 2 pixels per frame. The very background moves at 2 pixels per frame. The middle one moves at 4 pixels per frame, and the front one moves at 6 pixels per frame. So when slide 0 hits the exact edge of the screen for the background layer, slide 0 for the middle ground and slide 0 for the foreground all hit the very edge at the exact same time. When slide 1 hits the very edge of the screen and therefore a transition can occur, in this new case that we're going to add in, you might guess that it would be frame 1 on the other 2 layers that line up there, but it's actually frame 0 on the middle layer and frame 1 on the foreground layer. So whereas right now the transition, I can just go 0 0 0 right down the line. I can just use 0 for all 3 layers because I'm going to make it like make it ambivalent to, or like, I was going to say ambidextrous, but that doesn't make sense. Make it able to use either of the 2 frames. I have to have a special case wherein in one case it uses zero across the board, and then yeah. So that's I think that's the only weird thing. Was it? Do I have that right? Is it? It was 101. It was either 101 or 100. Let me